So today, you guys, we're just going to talk about literally the setup, what you need to look at, and the stitch off and block, just a block placement. Okay, simple, easy, and hopefully we'll answer some of the questions, some of the concerns that you have, and help you through your QMX, because that's what we're here for. So anyway, I just want to show you my PowerPoint presentation. I'm not going to do it on the screenshot because I'm going to go from the website to this multiple times, showing you specific items. Okay, so when you're setting up for QMX, it's for your domestic machine. This is not a long arm system. This is specifically to get you started using automation, and it is simple and easy to use. All right. So the only two things you need with your domestic machine, hang on here, is a Cutie Breeze frame. Okay. That's an accessory or an item that is a must have, and it can't be the original Cutie. It has to be the Cutie Breeze frame. And it's the only one that works with this QMX automation for your domestic machine. But then you also need the internet. Okay, so just make sure that you have both of these and you're good to go. So I'm going to talk about your instructions and your setup. Okay, when you first get your box, read through the instructions so you kind of have an idea of what's going to happen as you're going through the steps. So I always go through my box, make sure everything's there. And, you know, Alyssa and her team has done a great job with the instructions. And so you shouldn't have too many problems with the setups. I know some of you didn't get instructions, so I'm going to show you on the website where to find them in case somebody says, oh, hey, I didn't get my instructions. Hey, things happen. You know, it's a new product and we're trying to get all our steps in a row. So I'm not saying that we're always perfect. Man, I wish we were, but just make sure that you have everything necessary and that you go through them step by step. Okay. So if you don't get instructions, you'll just go to the internet. Okay. And you'll go over here. So we're on our graceframe.com website. You'll see up here in the window. You'll go over here to resources and product instructions. And that's where you'll go to find it. Now, you'll scroll down to QuiltMotion because it is a QuiltMotion product, but it's for domestic. So you'll click on that. I'm going to scroll down my screen and you'll notice that we have QuiltMotion X Foundation for Domestics. You click on that, and there you have your assembly instructions. Okay, so you can go through and pull that up, and I already have it online. And you can print that off and go through the instructions. Make sure you have everything there. Work through the setup. All right, so I'm just going to go back to my PowerPoint. Once you have it set up and ready to go, a couple of key things that we're going to talk about with our setup is making sure that your belts are engaged. Okay, when you use the automation, those belts have to be clamped. You have two clamps, okay, that you can take from to release the belt so you can free motion quilt, and one's on the side to side belt that mounts from the left and right edge. Okay, that one clamps, I think, down. Okay, the other one on the top carriage clamps up. And so make sure that those are engaged and locked so that you can go in and home your machine and then do your frame space. If you don't have those locked, and I encourage you to use it in free motion quilting, but if you forget to lock them, you're not going to be able to use the automation because it won't work. It needs to have those belts engaged at all times. So those are important things that we've learned that, you know, you just need to identify. So do make sure that if you unlock them, that you lock them, and so that you can use the automation. Okay. So next, I want to talk to you about warranty, okay? After you've set it all up, let's go in and talk about warranty registration. Again, you're going to go online, and I want to show you how easy. Just do this on your laptop or your home computer. Don't try to do it on your tablet because you have to download your or upload a copy of your receipt for the automation. It's going to want that. So it'll be easier for you if you just hop on your laptop and do all of it. So again, I'm going to go to the website. All right, and I'm going to come back to graceframe.com. I'm going to come back into resources, okay? And I'm going to go across and find from resources, find warranty and registration. Really easy. So it says start your registration. You just click on it and it'll take you in. So you see, I thought I took my phone number out. Don't call me. But anyway, you'll want to go through. Because I already have an account, if you already have an account at graceframe.com, that's the account you'll use, okay? And then you'll just go and find your product. You start typing in QuiltMotion, and it brings up all the Q's, and then you can go and find your product, QuiltMotion X for domestic. And then you'll just go through and finish with all that. So it says upload proof of purchase. That's where you'll upload from your pictures. You'll just save a copy of your receipt. You can take it on your phone and save it to your pictures and then put it in there. It's really, really easy to do. And then you can activate your registration. Once that's done, now we can move on with activating it. So you'll want to activate it on your tablet. So this is where you'll go to your tablet and you'll finish doing all the registration. And you'll go through and put, I can't remember what it is, Marie. And there's a little serial number for each of the automations that you'll have to put in to register it, okay? To do this, though, you have to be online. And it's really easy to get online. And so I want to show you, okay? I'm going to show you on the tablet, okay? So to get online on your tablet, okay, come on. You'll just slide down from the top, and then that opens up, that opens up. Slide down from the top. Just slide down from the top, and that opens up your internet where you can put your internet and everything in. So make sure that you're connected to the internet so that you can continue on with your registration. And Alyssa, once again, has done a really good job in really identifying what you need to put in. She's gone step by step. You're putting in your password. Okay, and Sam, as they're developing the software, it's not going to recognize your TV and everything else. So you want to be connected to the internet and Bluetooth. Both of those you want to connect to. All right, so we're going to go to the next screen. Okay, so as you're connecting to the internet and everything, you'll want to put everything in that it tells you to, and you just follow the instructions, you guys. Just follow them straight through. You know, you'll go to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then you'll submit your setup. You'll say you can set up now or go to it later. All right. The other thing that you need to do is when you're connecting to the QuiltMotion is it'll say QuiltMotion, and this is where you'll put your device sticker in, like your little serial number or the number of it, and to complete the setup. Okay. So after you've done all that, then you're ready to go in and home your machine, okay? To home your machine, you're going to move it all the way to the left. You're going to move it on the carriage all the way to the left and as far back till the foot, right here, this is the foot, hits the take-up rail. This is the take-up rail. So move it all the way back, and that's your home position. And so you'll have to home it before you set your frame space, okay? So once you've done that, then you can go through and set your frame space. And that's really easy to do. You just need to follow the instructions once again on the screen and in the instructions. So you'll notice that I've gone into quilting and I've homed it. So now I can set my frame space. And then it's telling you the direction that you could go. Once you start at the home position, you're going to go across with your foot just on the take-up rail all the way to the right as far as you can. Then you're going to pull it forward and as far as you can till it hits the back of the machine, and then across to the left, and then back up to, you're going to end up back where you left off. This is your quilting space, okay? And it's what's going to tell the machine. Once you've done this, you only have to do this once. But if you turn off the system, you have to rehome it by moving it up to the left and back as far as you can. And then you'll just tap on rehome and it knows its position. It gets all those calculations and those measurements in. Okay, don't turn off your internet as well. If you stay connected, then you can get updates. You'll notice that if you have this system, you're getting updates all the time. That's because they're continually working on it. So it's like the iPhone or anything. So make sure. So this is my little video on the frame space. So let me just show you that really quick. Come on. I see how I'm moving it across with the foot on the take-up rail. Then I'm pulling it forward as far as I can. And then I'm moving it to the left once again. And then I'm moving it back. This is my home position. Okay, so next, let's talk about your pre-quilting checklist. This is really important, and it's one of those necessary items that we're making you do to get familiar with what the process is before you start quilting. So it's going to go through and ask you to reinstall a new needle. I don't think we do that often enough, you guys. So make sure you put a new needle in before you start quilting. And then thread your machine from your instructions. And then switch to your quilting mode. On some of the machines, they have a quilting mode, and make sure you have your quilting foot on. You know, cover the lower feed dogs, so, or put them in the down position so they're not impeding with your quilting. And switch to the embroidery or free motion quilting foot. That's the foot I'm talking about. So make sure that you have the correct accessories for your machine to do quilting. If possible, set your machine needle to the down position. Having it in the down position actually allows you to bring it up when necessary, but it helps you position over it, so over your design. And then route your foot pedal cable so that you can reach it, okay? Some of you will be using your foot pedal, and that's fine, okay? Others will be using their start and stop buttons, and then test the movement. Make sure that your side to side, front to back movement isn't inhibited by something or catching. And then close your belt clamps. Again, really important. And then last but not least, tack down the edges of your quilt. If you do not tack them down, you will have it folded over and get caught, and you can actually damage your quilt top. So make sure you're doing all these. You can check all of them, and then you can proceed to start quilting. Now we're going to get into the quilting side of it. All right. So the quilting side of it, you have to find your stitch length, or what speed you want to quilt at. This is really important. You want a nice even stitch, and that's what we're going to talk about here. So we're using our straight line. Okay, this is the only time really I would use the straight line, is to do my stitch off and to make sure I have it running at the correct speed. So start at a slow speed and then increase the speed. And all you're doing is you're setting the left side first, and then you're moving it to the right as far as you want. You don't have to have a big stitch off, but just a little one to show you what the stitches look like. So here's my little video on what it looks like. And I just did this on the screen so that you could see. So this is on the little Rebel. This is at a really slow speed right here. This is at a little one speed up from that, which I'd probably be okay with. But you'll notice that the faster it sews, the smaller the stitches. You don't want it so small. You want it to look like a nice, beautiful quilting stitch. So let me show you this little video. It takes a minute. It's a little slow. I'm showing you the countdown. And then I started it sewing, and it's moving across. And you'll just repeat this 3 or 4 times till you find the right speed. And some of your machines have a speed dial on them and others don't. So you'll be using your foot pedal. So then it's the pressure of your foot on the foot pedal that will decide how fast it is, okay? So do this about 3 or 4 times. It's really simple, really easy to do. And you'll just repeat that. Now I'm going to jump in to a block placement because I wanted to show you how to quilt a block out, okay? And so, I did things a little differently. I skipped, you guys. So when you go in to do your blocks, you're going to go in and select your, I skipped one, I'm sorry. You're going to go in and select your block and then want it a little simple block. And then you'll go into your design library. You already have specific designs in there. And then they give you credits for 10, several more designs that you can pick and choose from our design store. Make them simple. Don't make them complicated, you guys, because this is a system that you don't want a complicated design. And then once you've selected it, then it'll show up on the screen and then you can tap on next. So once you tapped on next, now we're ready to place our design onto our quilt. So this is my little quilt top. So you'll go A, top left corner, tap on A. And you have to move your machine though. You can't just let it sit there. You have to move the machine first, then tap on A, and then B, you move to the top right, and then C and D. It doesn't matter which way you do them. It just matters that you get all 4 corners satin quilted, okay? And then once you've done that, then it's positioned on your quilt top the way it looks. And you'll notice that it's not exactly square. That's okay, because that's how your quilt, your block is angled on your frame. So that's what you want. You want it to not be square. Then you're gonna stitch it out. And mine starts in the middle, but you're really not going to know. And I just wanted to show you how to pull up your threads, okay? So here's a little video on how to pull up your threads. So when we're at the stop of our design, we're going to pull it away, hang on to this, pull it back to where we stopped, do our needle up, needle down on your machine, and then pull up your bottom thread, and now you can cut. It's really easy. Make that a habit, you guys. We're really good about it when we're piecing, pulling our threads out of the way. Just do it when you're quilting as well. Okay, so here we come. We're going to come to some questions here. And you guys can unmute yourselves, or if you want to, I don't care, because we're ready for some question and answers. Next time, we're going to talk about pantographs, how to place them, and how to quilt them out, and what to look for as you're picking designs. Because again, I just want to stress simple, easy designs. All right. I just had some little questions that I wanted you to think about as you're going through this, and it was, what was the name of the frame that is compatible with QuiltMotion X foundations? You can just type it in the chat if you want to. And it's the Cutie Breeze, you guys. All right. Can I free motion quilt if I purchase QuiltMotion X? Just shake your heads. Yes, you can. You just have to release your belts, okay? What is the name of the process to reconnect to QuiltMotion X if you turn off the system? You don't have to set your frame space, but you do have to rehome your machine. Do I need to purchase a long arm to quilt using automation? No, because that's what you're doing with QuiltMotion X. Okay, this is a good one. What determines the size of the designs I can quilt? I want you to think about that. It's your machine throat, okay? Your sewing machine throat determines how far or how large you can quilt your designs. Okay, if a thread breaks as you're using your QuiltMotion X, What should I stop first, the QuiltMotion X or the machine? Stop your machine, or stop QuiltMotion X first, okay? I got that wrong, okay? And then stop your machine, okay? So that is stopping at the position that you need it to, and you don't have to back it up. So stop QuiltMotion X first, tap on that, and then stop your machine if the thread breaks, because it'll get you to where you need to be, and it's really easy to go back and redo your design. They've made it simple and easy, and we'll show you a little bit about that next week, okay? Where are the instructions located on graceframe.com? It's under resources and product instructions. Okay. Do I need to be connected to the internet to use QuiltMotion X? No, you don't, but stay connected because it really makes your life that much easier if you can. Just stay connected. Okay. If I do free motion quilt, what do I need to remember to do to the belts? You need to re-clamp them, you guys. You need to remember to re-engage them. Okay, how large of a quilt can I quilt? Well, on your Cutie Breeze frame, it's unlimited. So you can quilt as large a quilt as you want, and that includes with your QuiltMotion X as well. And you can do blocks and pantographs. Okay, should I keep the internet connected, and why? So you can receive updates. Updates will be happening quite a bit. And how many times do I need to set the frame space? Only once, okay? You do need to rehome, but you only need to set the frame space once. Okay, so now we're gonna open it up, and we're gonna see you next week for more of that, and we're gonna talk about designs and pantographs next week, okay? So let's open it up. You guys unmute yourself and ask questions so that Marie and everybody can answer them, okay?
So Karla, some of the questions that we've gotten in chat is, what is the maximum quilting width without having to rehoop?
Okay. Yeah. I'm not quite sure. Do you know, Marie?
Well, it's all going to depend on a lot of things. It's going to depend on the pattern. It's going to depend on the height you choose, because because we're not changing the aspect ratio of the pattern. Excuse me. That sometimes it will shorten you a little more than you're expecting, because we're not going to change the pattern's aspect ratio. So that is it's a good question, but a very hard question to ask. I don't
Okay.
know if we
We'll show you a
can.
little bit more on that next week, as we're showing you pantographs, and it'll shorten and lengthen, and yeah. She's right, though. That's really hard to say depending on the height.
And your design, the size of your design.
Yeah.
Okay, there was the other one Marie kind of responded to already, but on the block, why does it not start stitching directly on the start spot?
Oh, it's because I didn't have my crosshairs right there. Okay, that's why it did. It started stitching right where it started, but I thought it was the design, so it moved. Okay, I just didn't show you that in the video. Okay, so it did move to start and stop.
Will you talk about the shrink? Because she said talk about the stretch, not the shrink, sorry, the stretch, on and off. Because Lori asked, she tried it, lined up the corners, blocked, but it stitched out just a bit smaller, probably because you didn't have the stretch on, and it kept the aspect ratio of the pattern. So it didn't go to all 4 of your sides. If you put the stretch on, it will stretch it all to the 4 sides.
Okay, I didn't see that because I'm not seeing the chat. So good. Yeah, stretch will stretch the design to the all 4 corners where you put it. And sometimes you maybe not getting your needle right there, and it might be just inside as well. So yeah, if you want to turn your hand wheel just slightly to put your needle down a little closer to the quilt, it will actually help you make your placements better. Sometimes our machines are a little longer, so it's harder to turn it, but I like to use the hand wheel and put the needle closer, so it helps me identify where I'm at. Any other questions that we can answer? Okay,
I think Lori was trying to say something, but we didn't hear it.
yeah.
Were you trying?
I'm being shy.
Oh, please don't.
I just that was amazing. I didn't know about the stretch, and I've tried, and now I guess what we don't have is some instructions on the actual, like, I didn't know the stretch could do that. So maybe just a video showing what happens when you use the reverse and the flip and because I'm trying to figure it out on my own, and we don't
Okay.
have a pamphlet.
All right, we'll show you what those do next time. So on the design that I picked, if I flipped it, because it's the same from both sides, you wouldn't see a difference in it. But if it was like a motif, a little teddy bear or a butterfly or something like that, you would see it flip differently. So some designs, the flip really works, other times because of the way it's designed. And then we'll show you the stretch and the fit and what they look like, keeping the aspect ratio. So we'll show you a little quick, this is what these are all about, to just kind of help you move forward. So we'll do some videos of that. This is good to know.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other confusions or, that you feel like you need help with? I know that next week with the pantograph, we're going to have a lot more. But we decided to start small and simple, you guys, because we didn't want to overwhelm you. And so that's why we're starting with just a few points first and then moving forward.